The Middle Ages are often remembered as a time of constant warfare, towering castles, and kings struggling for power. But behind that familiar image was the rise of enormous empires that controlled vast territories and shaped the lives of millions of people. Each of these empires stood out, not only for its military strength or the size of its lands, but also for the stories, achievements, and fascinating details that have kept their history alive to this day. Here are 10 of the most powerful empires of the medieval world. The Byzantine Empire. The Byzantine Empire was the continuation of the Roman Empire in the East after the western half collapsed in the 5th century. Its capital was Constantinople, one of the richest and most heavily fortified cities of the medieval world. The city was protected by massive multi-layered defensive walls that helped the Byzantines survive countless sieges for nearly 1,000 years. The Byzantines were also famous for a mysterious weapon known as Greek fire, a powerful incendiary substance that could continue burning even on water and was almost impossible to extinguish. Thanks to its strategic location between Europe and Asia, the empire controlled several key trade routes and became one of the major economic and cultural centers of the region. The Abbasid Caliphate. The Abbasid Caliphate was one of the most powerful Islamic dynasties of the Middle Ages, beginning in the 8th century. Its capital, Baghdad, was widely considered one of the largest and most advanced cities in the world at the time. The Abbasid era is often referred to as the Islamic Golden Age, a period when science, medicine, mathematics, and philosophy flourished. One fascinating detail is that Baghdad was home to the House of Wisdom, where scholars translated numerous scientific works from Greek, Persian, and Indian languages into Arabic. These efforts helped preserve and expand much of the ancient world's knowledge. The Mongol Empire. The Mongol Empire began with nomadic tribes on the Central Asian steppes before being united by Genghis Khan in the early 13th century. Under his leadership and that of his successors, Mongol armies expanded at astonishing speed, eventually creating the largest contiguous empire in world history. Mongol cavalry became legendary for their incredible mobility and flexible tactics, including the famous strategy of pretending to retreat in order to lure enemies into ambushes. Interestingly, during Mongol rule, many routes along the Silk Road became safer, allowing trade and cultural exchange between East and West to flourish. The Frankish Empire. The Frankish Empire was a powerful medieval kingdom in Western Europe that reached its peak under the rule of Charlemagne during the 8th and 9th centuries. Under his leadership, Frankish territory expanded across much of Western and Central Europe. In the year 800, Charlemagne was crowned emperor by the Pope in Rome, an event that carried enormous symbolic importance for European history. His reign also sparked the Carolingian Renaissance, a cultural and intellectual revival that saw the establishment of schools and centers of learning throughout the empire. The Holy Roman Empire. The Holy Roman Empire existed for nearly 1,000 years in Central Europe, beginning in 962 when Otto I was crowned emperor. Despite its name, the empire was primarily located in areas that correspond to modern-day Germany, Austria, and parts of Italy. One unusual feature of this empire was that it was not a fully unified state, but rather a complex alliance of hundreds of duchies, free cities, and small kingdoms. Because of this structure, many historians later joked that it was neither holy, nor Roman, nor truly an empire. The Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire was one of the largest and longest-lasting empires in history, surviving for more than 6 centuries. A major turning point came in 1453 when Mehmed II captured Constantinople, bringing an end to the Byzantine Empire. The city then became the Ottoman capital and later became widely known as Istanbul. One interesting detail is that the Ottoman military included an elite force known as the Janissaries, highly trained soldiers who were considered one of the earliest professional standing armies in Europe. The Song Dynasty. The Song dynasty was a major dynasty in Chinese history that ruled from the 10th to the 13th century. Although it frequently faced military threats from northern neighbors, the Song period stood out for its remarkable economic and technological achievements. Many important inventions either appeared or were significantly improved during this time, including the magnetic compass used for navigation, gunpowder, and advanced printing techniques. Another fascinating detail is that the Song dynasty was among the first societies in history to widely use paper money, making trade and commerce far more efficient. The Delhi Sultanate. The Delhi Sultanate ruled much of the Indian subcontinent from the 13th to the 16th century. Its capital was the city of Delhi, which became an important political and cultural center. The empire was known for blending influences from Persian, Central Asian, and Indian traditions. During this period, many impressive Islamic architectural structures were built, including the famous Qutub Minar, one of the tallest brick minarets in the medieval world. The Srivijaya Empire. The Srivijaya was a powerful maritime empire in Southeast Asia that flourished from the 7th to the 13th century, with its center located on the island of Sumatra. By controlling key trade routes through the Strait of Malacca, Srivijaya became an extremely wealthy trading power. The empire also developed into a major center of Buddhism, attracting scholars and monks from across Asia who came to study and exchange knowledge. The Mali Empire. The Mali Empire was one of the most powerful civilizations in medieval West Africa. Its immense wealth came largely from controlling the gold and salt trade routes that crossed the Sahara Desert. The city of Timbuktu became a famous hub of trade and scholarship, home to libraries and major centers of education. The empire's most famous ruler was Mansa Musa, often considered one of the richest individuals in history. During his famous pilgrimage to Mecca, he carried enormous amounts of gold and distributed it along the journey, reportedly affecting gold prices in some regions for years afterward.